Well, I thought I'd give you an update, Mom, on the yard and how stuff is looking. Everything up front is kind of doing well, and we've got stuff really thinned out and cleaned up front. Haven't really been doing a whole ton up here, but it just kind of is, it just kind of maintains itself a little bit. The two rainbow eucalyptus trees are really coming out and starting to do something. The ones out back that we'll show you in a little bit, they're really growing and looking really good. But everything is just kind of there. One of the bromeliads is kind of going nuts. The anthuriums, they've really been doing good. But kind of walk back here, and all the stuff up here has really been, the weeds have really been kept back and kind of doing good and so forth. Over here, this is all stuff that has been planted now for a long time and cleaned up and maintained, and it's really doing well. The big area that got cleared is all things are really starting to perk up back here. I see one of the canna bulbs that we planted recently is blooming. There's another canna that's getting ready to bloom. Those were all just put in. Most of this stuff was put in at the exact same time, so those cannas were just bulbs, and now everything's really starting to grow. The pretty heliconias are coming up. I was kind of worried about those because they really weren't doing much, and the elephant ear, that particular elephant ear, was actually just a start off of one of the others. So everything back here is really, I know it still looks kind of brown, but if you knew the way we saw it, how just kind of sparse it was, it really looks like everything is starting to green up and fill out. One of the rhododendrons, there's our southern magnolia that we planted, that we got, and it looks like it's doing really well. There's all sorts of gingers back there. The one is without me going into it, that's a Tahitian tulip. But there's all sorts of little blooms starting back through here. Of course, it's just nice to have all of our good ohia trees all opened up and no weeds on them. And it's also been nice to have this project done and to have it planted and watch it grow, because it was kind of the perpetual, it just didn't end for whatever reason, this particular project. I'll show you the papaya trees. Those are doing really well. Those were actually, that was a hibiscus that was in a pot, and it kind of just outgrew the pot, so we took it out of the pot and put it in the ground. Those are my three. There's 1, 2, and 3 papaya trees that those are doing really well. And those things were like 6 or 10 inches tall when we got them at Walmart for like $5 a piece, and they're going to wind up, we're going to have more papayas than what we know what to do with. We'll set them out for the geckos and let them do their thing. There's a pretty heliconia that's starting to kind of take off, but this area is doing really, really well. And some sort of a philodendron. That rhododendron has really, it must like that spot because it's really kind of growing nuts. I see a big torch ginger that kind of desperately needs weeded out. That's starting to perk up. The anthurium. This is just through. This was one of the very first areas that we cleared out, and it's actually staying pretty nice. I'm not exactly sure what type of ginger that is. I think I've seen something like a golden paintbrush ginger,